Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a fairy tale. Relationships are not effortless. They require patience, understanding, compassion, and a deep willingness to grow together. It's not about finding the perfect person, but choosing to become the perfect team side by side through every high and low. The strongest relationships aren't the ones without conflict. They're the ones that know how to resolve conflict with kindness, humility, and a deep understanding that we're all flawed, yet worthy of love. Today, I want to share 7 powerful tips to make your relationship strong. Not just strong, but unbreakable, a refuge for both your hearts. Because when we learn to appreciate, grow, and trust alongside someone, we become more ourselves, more complete, more alive. So let's go forward together and discover the magic that true connection brings. Communicate with kindness and openness. It's not the words we say, but the way we say them that makes the greatest impact in a relationship. When you speak honestly, without blame, without attack, without resentment, you create a space for understanding. This understanding forms a strong foundation, a refuge where both people feel valued and recognized for their struggles. Instead of turning away or closing up, choosing to remain vulnerable signals immense trust and maturity. When you let your defenses down, you enable your hearts to connect more profoundly. This kind of communication cannot be forced. It evolves from patience, compassion, and deep listening when you are not just waiting for your own chance to speak, but when you are truly engaged in understanding the other person's experience. Sometimes silence is the greatest form of understanding a moment, to appreciate without judgment, without pressure, without adding additional chaos. Some words cut, but kind words heal. Choosing your expression carefully shows that you care about preserving peace in your relationship. Acknowledging each other's struggles, validating each other's perspectives, honoring each other's vulnerabilities, these become the stones that form the path toward a strong and loving bond. When you appreciate their ability to be vulnerable, you foster loyalty that stands strong even in difficult moments. Conflict is not a death sentence for a relationship, it's an opportunity for renewal. When both people care enough to talk, listen, and appreciate, something new emerges, a deepening of understanding and a strengthening of their connection. This kind of communication transforms relationships from fragile to resilient, from shallow to profound, from distant to intimate. Every kind word, every moment of understanding adds a new thread to the rich tapestry of your growing bond. Together, you create a refuge forged by understanding, loyalty, patience, renewal, compassion, care, a refuge that can carry you through whatever comes. Support each other's dreams. Dreams illuminate our path forward. They're a manifestation of our greatest hopes and ambitions. And when you support your partner's passions, you become their refuge, their greatest cheerleader. Instead of turning their ambitions into a threat, celebrate their growing spirit and creativity. Consider their happiness not a competition, but a reflection of your collective happiness. When you appreciate their passions, you enable them to become the best version of themselves. This form of loyalty forms a deep, unbreakable connection, a loyalty forged in understanding, compassion, patience, renewal, peace, and care. Dreams aren't solitary. They flourish when supported by understanding hearts. When you say, "I believe in you," and "Go for it, I'm here for you no matter what," you enable transformation. Your affirmation resonates much more than you realize. It ignites a spark within their soul and helps illuminate their path forward. This kind of support strengthens not just their spirit, but the bond you share. Instead of growing distant, you grow together side by side, honoring each other's greatest ambitions. Dreams come alive when there's a strong foundation of understanding, loyalty, renewal, peace, compassion, care, patience, a deep affirmation that we are growing together, not growing apart. Support is not a weakness, it's a powerful affirmation of your own maturity and generosity. It signals that you care more about their happiness than your own ego. This kind of maturity paves the way toward a relationship filled with peace, understanding, happiness, loyalty, renewal, compassion, care, a place where both can become their best. Together, you enable each other to reach higher and higher until there's no limit. Embrace compromise and connection conflict is not a sign that a relationship is falling apart. It's a sign that two people care profoundly. When you compromise, you do not lose yourself. Instead, you make space for understanding, compassion, and reconciliation. It shows maturity, patience, humility, and a deep understanding that relationships are not about domination, but collaboration. When you let down your defenses and move toward compromise, you enable healing for both your hearts. Compromise signals loyalty to the connection instead of loyalty to your own ego. This kind of compromise lets both people feel valued, recognized, and cared for in a profound way. Instead of turning away or closing their hearts, choosing compromise shows maturity forged by understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, loyalty, and deep affection. Conflict can become a powerful opportunity for renewal, for growing together, for strengthening the roots of your relationship. Every compromise paves the way toward greater understanding, greater trust, greater compassion, greater unity. Instead of adding to the conflict, compromise transforms it, turning a moment of tension into a moment of peace. This peace resonates far beyond the moment, strengthening your ability to face future struggles together. When both people care more about their relationship than their own egos, a deep, enduring connection forms, a connection forged by understanding, patience, loyalty, renewal, compassion, care, peace. This kind of compromise forms the beating heart of a strong, passionate, enduring relationship, a refuge where both can grow. Together, you create a powerful testimony, a testimony forged by patience, understanding, loyalty, renewal, compassion, care, peace, a testimony that stands the test of time. This kind of maturity signals loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that we are choosing to grow together. Celebrate your connection daily. Small gestures carry immense power. A kind word, a thoughtful note, a gentle squeeze of the hand, all these become signals that say, I care, I appreciate you, I see you. When you celebrate your connection daily, you foster a culture of warmth, loyalty, understanding, peace, renewal, and compassion. Every small expression adds a brick to the foundation upon which your relationship stands. Instead of waiting for big anniversaries or dramatic events, celebrate the ordinary moments, the routines, the glances, the routines that bring you together. When you appreciate the ordinary, you discover that there's magic all around you, magic forged by understanding, loyalty, renewal, peace, compassion, care, patience, and deep affection. This kind of celebration cannot be forced. It flows naturally when both people appreciate their growing bond. Acknowledgement, a kind word, a small note, a sincere expression resonates much more than grand gestures. This forms a climate of warmth, a refuge where both feel valued and recognized for their unique contributions. Instead of growing distant, you grow more connected, honoring the small, beautiful details that make your relationship alive. When you appreciate each moment, you enable both to appreciate their growing connection more profoundly. This kind of daily affirmation forms a strong barrier against resentment and apathy. It prevents small disappointments from growing into large wounds instead, healing them in their earliest phases. Showing up daily signals loyalty, care, compassion, understanding, patience, renewal, everything that forms the basis for a strong and enduring relationship. This kind of daily celebration paves the way toward growing together, side by side, through whatever future might bring. Ultimately, honoring your connection in small, consistent ways brings eternal renewal. Grow individually, grow together. A strong relationship cannot exist without two strong individuals. When you grow yourself, you enable your relationship to grow alongside you. This kind of maturity signals loyalty, understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, and deep affection. Instead of losing yourself in someone else's happiness, you become more yourself, more complete, adding depth and texture to your connection. When two people grow together, side by side, honoring their respective journeys, something wonderful happens. Your growing forms a rich soil for your relationship to flourish, a soil filled with compassion, understanding, loyalty, renewal, peace, care, and patience. Instead of growing distant or stagnant, you grow together toward a future filled with shared happiness. This kind of growth signals a deep understanding that we do not complete each other, we grow alongside each other. When you appreciate each other's progress, you enable both to become their best version of themselves. This forms a strong, resilient bond forged by loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, and deep affection. Together, you become a team forged by growing side by side, honoring each person's struggles, honoring their ability to become something greater. Instead of looking for someone to fill a void within you, you become whole. And when two wholes come together, something powerful emerges. This kind of maturity forms the basis for a strong, passionate, and enduring connection. This kind of growing signals loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that two can become more than just the sum of their parts. Together, you enable each other to flourish, honoring both your progress, honoring both your struggles, growing together side by side without losing your authenticity. Nurture connection through presence and quality time. Sometimes we confuse love with grand gestures, when in reality it's the small moments of pure presence that matter most. When you put away your phone, when you silence notifications, when you let distractions fade, you create a space for true connection. This kind of presence signals loyalty to the moment, loyalty to the person you care about, loyalty to growing together. When you listen without interrupting, without thinking about your own response, without letting ego dictate your understanding, you enable healing. Your undivided attention is a powerful affirmation, a manifestation of understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, and loyalty. This kind of intentional connection forms a refuge for both hearts, a refuge forged by understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, loyalty, and deep affection. Instead of letting routines become a barrier, turning into an endless to-do list, you create small rituals, routines, moments that celebrate your unity. Walking together, cooking together, reading together, these small ceremonies foster loyalty and understanding. This kind of discipline forms a strong structure within your relationship. A structure forged by patience, loyalty, compassion, renewal, peace, understanding, care, and deep affection. When you appreciate the simplicity of pure presence, you enable your hearts to grow alongside each other. This kind of growing signals loyalty, renewal, understanding, patience, peace, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that you are choosing each other today, just as much as you chose each other previously. Together, you create a space where both can let down their defenses, a space where vulnerability is not a weakness, but a form of profound connection. This kind of refuge forms a strong barrier against stress, resentment, conflict, or growing resentment. Instead, it strengthens understanding, loyalty, peace, renewal, compassion, care, patience, a strong thread tying two hearts together in a world that can be so unpredictable. This kind of intentional connection forms a deep affirmation, a testimony to your growing loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, a refuge forged by pure, loving presence. Develop unbreakable trust. Deep trust forms the core of a strong, passionate, enduring relationship. When you keep your promises, when you follow through, when you show up even when it's difficult, you demonstrate loyalty, patience, peace, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, and deep affection. Broken promises erode trust, but honoring your word strengthens it. This kind of honoring signals a profound understanding, a deep affirmation that you care more about the relationship than your own ease. When you hold someone's confidence, When you protect their vulnerabilities, when you appreciate their struggles and weaknesses, you foster loyalty. This loyalty forms a refuge forged by understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, and deep affection. Instead of adding to their worries, you ease their burdens, making their hearts feel valued and recognized. This kind of understanding paves the way toward greater peace. Peace forged by loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, honoring, and a deep understanding that trust cannot be rushed, it must be cultivated. When two people trust each other, they enable each other to grow, flourish, transform, and become their best, strongest, most compassionate selves. This kind of transformation signals loyalty, renewal, understanding, patience, peace, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that we are growing together. Instead of turning inward in suspicion or resentment, you grow together in a climate of peace and understanding forged by loyalty. This loyalty forms a strong barrier against temptation, conflict, resentment, or growing suspicion. Instead, it strengthens understanding, patience, renewal, care, compassion, peace, a powerful affirmation that you care profoundly. This kind of honoring paves the way toward growing together side by side through whatever future might bring. Ultimately, developing unbreakable trust signals loyalty, patience, renewal, understanding, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that your relationship stands upon a strong and enduring foundation. At the end of the day, when we talk about relationships, we're not talking about something easy or effortless. We're talking about something forged in patience, loyalty, understanding, renewal, peace, compassion, care, and deep affection. We're talking about two people choosing each other every single day, not because it's convenient, but because it's worth it. It's worth growing together instead of growing distant, honoring each moment instead of letting them fade away. It's worth trusting, honoring promises, making space for understanding, and choosing peace over conflict. This kind of loyalty forms a refuge forged by patience, renewal, care, compassion, peace, understanding, and deep affection. A refuge where two hearts can rest, grow, and flourish side by side. When you celebrate your connection daily, when you compromise without resentment, when you appreciate each other's progress, when you listen without judgment, and when you trust without suspicion, you create something strong, something that cannot be easily broken. This kind of strong relationship is not a fairy tale, it's something forged through intentional choices made every moment, a manifestation of loyalty, renewal, understanding, patience, peace, compassion, care, and deep affection. Ultimately, your relationship stands as a testimony to your ability to grow together, to appreciate each other, to redeem difficult moments, and to foster peace. When two people are anchored by loyalty and understanding, there's no storm strong enough to destroy their connection. Instead, every challenge helps them grow, adding depth, texture, and resilience to their bond. This kind of growing signals renewal, patience, understanding, loyalty, peace, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that a strong relationship is forged not by ease but by choosing each other over and over again. Whatever struggles come, whatever obstacles arise, this kind of strong relationship stands not because it's perfect, but because it's forged by understanding, patience, renewal, peace, compassion, care, loyalty, and deep affection. This is your opportunity to grow together, honoring the love you share, honoring the promises you made, honoring the peace that guides your future. This kind of strong relationship forms a refuge, a powerful affirmation, a testament to loyalty, renewal, understanding, patience, peace, compassion, care, a testimony that resonates across time, a testimony forged by choosing each other today and every day. Together you can become something greater, a team, a refuge, a stronghold, forged by understanding, renewal, loyalty, patience, peace, compassion, care, a deep affirmation that your relationship is meant to grow, flourish, and endure.